So let's jump into the first discussion segment. My guests are already seated with me in the studio. Yeah, I have a one-time local government boss who the local government to precise, Comrade Napoleon Agbama. It's an honor to have you join us on set.
Good morning, Wisin.
Thank you so much for being here.
Good morning, viewers.
All right. The next person is an Islamic scholar. Yeah, and of course, in the teaching profession, also what you call analyst. Jimmy to welcome Alhaji Ahmed Ibaike. Welcome to TMI.
Thank you so much, Mr.
It's been a
Wixon.
while. You disappeared.
I didn't so.
You're looking fresh. I don't know this company says it's like, favoring you. I don't know.
It's piece of the heart, too,
All
brother.
right.
Good morning.
All right, some call him the street lawyer. Others say, man, this lawyer, if not be saying a law. Welcome, Barrister Joshua Nebokai, right?
Yeah, Nebokai Joshua.
Yeah, Joshua. Thank you so much for coming on
The
today's
pleasure is
show.
mine. The pleasure is mine.
All right, all the way from Germany via Zoom joining us, I have Benjamin Mayer. Benjamin, good morning from this side.
This morning.
All right, good morning, Benjamin. It's a pleasure to have you join us.
Morning.
Okay, and of course, we still have Andrew. Yes, so most of you join us via Zoom and Benin. Is Andrew there? Andrew, good morning. Can you hear us, Doc? Okay. Anyhow, we'll get to get to make contact again with Andrew. All the same, we want to start off with formation, because in football, what they call formations. So what's your formation? What's your pact? In politics, if you cannot move a mountain single-handedly, you have to call other hands to come join forces with you to move that mountain, and the mountain will remain. Yes, at first we thought it was Ada. Now it's ADC. We have been talking about it. Some have divergent views, but our concern this morning is how it's going to impact other political parties. The parties who choose to leave to join coalition. Some are saying it's the beginning of the end of some political parties that choose to join hands with the ADC. Many of them may just go oblivion or just go extinct. Others are saying no, they will still remain there as part of the formation. They'll just be like, being in both parties. How do you think that will work? Anyway, Honorable, I want to start off with you. You're a politician, you're a farmer, an entrepreneur. I believe that, but I've done one or two calculations. What do you feel about all this matter?
Thank you very much, Winston. I think coalition or coming together to form a party is not new. I think some years back that is what led to APC. But the only thing that personally I'm looking at the present coalition or grouping is the credibility of those coming together in their various areas nationally as well. If you are not credible, whatever you are doing, people will not have that trust in you. Because almost all of them that are doing it now are being one time or they are tested. Like what was a schoolboy asked me the other day is that some of those people, what do they forget in that presidency that they are now going there to look for now? So you look, that credibility is a factor that will say whether the coalition will be a serious one or not a serious one. But however, in another way of it, coming together seriously to make sure that the sitting government, to make them to sit tight and do what the people really need. And it is only when you satisfy the masses that the masses will again say, yes, we are voting you back. So I think come together to have a strong force against the present administration, that alone is a good thing. But however, to say that in the re-election, the coalition will be able to sit the present administration is another side of it that I said just now, that credibility of those that are involved will only tell.
All right. Aftermath of coalition impact on other political parties, he said credibility. Okay. Ahmed, what do you feel about this?
Thank you. The coalition is a good thing. because if we do not have, because the way the system is going now, we're almost turning the country into a one-party system. So with the emergence of this coalition now, brings new hope that the democratic system still remain multi-party system. Unlike before now that PDP almost becoming a support group to the APC at the national level. But now the only force now that the APC will need to reckon with now is a new coalited group called the ADC. So, but coming together like this is a good one, because if not, the National Assembly is not really making us proud, because they are supposed to be the watchdog now, trying to checkmate the excesses of the presidency. But they are more or less like, I don't want to use the word hallelujah men now, they just,
You just use the word. You just used it.
They just sink to whatever presidency just bring to the table. We are good to go. We are good to go. And it's not like that. That is why it's called parliament. You needed to have seen where, train of stones and blow and, verbal, altercation like that. But now, you just eyes like that, So now, we need an opposition that we need to checkmate the government, so that the government will sit upright. If the government thinks they are running well now, somebody need to tell the government that you are not running well. At the 40 you are running is too slow. Make it 60. And that's the job of in a viable opposition. It makes the current government to sit upright. When the current government thinks, I've just done well. Somebody says, is that one? You've not done anything. No, you make you to go back to the book and do well. So the coming of this coalited group is a very fantastic one. But the only fear, like our father here have also said, it is the greed within the chains of the men who came together to get this group coalited together. Unlike the 2014 when men came together to coalesce, one of the arrowhead was just this current president. He was not coming to power at that very moment, but he gave backbone to whoever wins the primaries to come into power. But now, if you check all these men, now we have two contenders mainly, Alhaji Atiku and Peter Obi. The question right now is that, will the supporters of Obi...
Don't forget Amechi Rotimi.
I will not count him among.
Why would you count him?
I will not count him among, because when you scale these two men I've mentioned, you now bring Amechi. In fact, even Amechi knows that he will not win the primaries. When these two men are placed on the table, you understand what I'm saying now? Because when we talk about the force so far these two men have gathered, Amechi, within the south side, Amechi does not even have like 1/3 of this force. So just cut Amechi out of it. So the let's just even give him that little respect and increase him above Rivers. He does not even have the weight at all. So these two men are the main contenders. The question right now is that, if you check most of those who are clapping for ADC in Edo right now, most of them are the aggrieved people that believe that the last election was rigged, that of the PDP axis and the Labour Party. So their main concern of the ADC now is not really because of the fact the ADC is going to bring good governance, but rather this same man made them to ring election for Edo, so this same man must be removed. That is their game. But now, majority of them are routing for the Obi. The question now I'm asking, the initial gaga is okay. What if Obi is not giving the tickets?
I'm the one asking the question. Thank you. I'll come back to you.
So what if Obi is not giving the tickets? At the end of the day, you see that the same problem we emerge again. So that's why you see the presidency right now is telling you that this group cannot actually unseat them, because they've studied the elements in all these men. Is it the Erofai who was not be given whatever he was promised not to give him? And now you are fighting back. Where is his sportsmanship? Where is his statesmanship in all this?
I'll come back to you, Ahmed. I'll come back to you. Just so then I'll come back to you. I'm done asking the question. All right, let me come to Joshua. Joshua, what do you feel about all this?
All right, personally to me, as an addendum, everything has to do with interest for me. And the question is, what should be the purpose of this coalition? And like my brother rightly said, if you look at the coalition in question, you have so many big wigs, you understand? These are political gladiators who are actually in the arena, Even the likes of them, David Mats coming together and all of that. Now, to me, if the coalition is all about personal interest and not the interest of Nigerians, to me, it's already dead in arrival. Like my brother said ab initio, if you remember 2015, when there was a coalition, it was just for a sole purpose. And the president, the incumbent president, as we have now, was a backbone, like my brother said. And you know, they all rallied around President Buhari as at that time. So now they need to shield ambition. They need to put their ambitions aside. When you put your ambition aside, look at the yearnings of the people. You know, look at what the people want. Then again, like my honorable said, it's also an advantage to strong opposition. You understand? Because the way the country was actually going, you see some incumbent governors, because of fear, already running from pillar to post, running helter-skelter. You know, even Akwa Ibom State governor come and say that my interest is 2027. No, obviously speaking. But now I think it's going to put some persons on check, put them on check. Then again, they might also think that are you sure we did not actually make a hasty decision? Again, let's also downplay the coalition. Anything can actually happen. The coalition and the good people of Nigeria in one part. We should not say they cannot unseat the incumbent. Any incumbent government can be unseated if at the particular time they are not meeting the needs of the people. If at the particular time the cries of the people are not getting to them and they pay deaf ear to the people.
All right, let's move straight down to Jem. I believe that Benjamin is really monitoring the trends in Nigeria and all that. So Benjamin, what do you feel about all this?
Good morning once again.
Good morning, Benjamin.
Thank you for the question, Mr. Well, thank you for the question, Mr. Wilson.
Yeah.
Like so many other speakers in the studio have rightly said, the coalition of everything is coming at the right time because the country democracy and incumbent government were already turning the country into a one-party system. And this is like a form of reawakening every person in the corridor of power that things can be done and things can be done in another different form. And when you look at history in far back 2014, 2013, 2010 to 2015, when coalition actually started, this was how it started. And at the end of the day, it works out, and at the end of the day, everything worked out perfectly the way it was planned. So if it wasn't coalition, there is nobody that would have been able to remove Jonathan from the office, which Nigerians are actually regretted of doing. But in my own view, when you look at the people who are in that coalition today, some like you, some of the speakers in the studio also said that their character and their integrity are questionable, which I also understand. And hardly you see a Nigerian politician who his or her character is unquestionable. But the question we'll keep asking ourselves, are we just going to remain like this, keep quiet and remain docile without doing anything? And I think before I will round up this particular segment, I will ask all the Nigerian youth to be involved in politics. Because there's one thing I noticed. If like 10 years ago, so many of us were actually involved in politics, like active politics, by now, somebody like Alhaji A.A. Atiku will have been having some youth to contend with. That's one thing on the other side, because we have more youth who are contending in other position and all that. Peter Obi on his own side is also good. He's one of the only politician that we have seen in Nigeria that EFC have not invited for financial crime and other crimes in Nigeria. And when you also look at the coalition, you see people or somebody like respected Senator David Mann, former speakers of the Senate. When you see kind of people like this coming forward to form a coalition, you can see that they are hearing and the yearning of Nigerians, and they want things to be done. They want things to change. They want things to be done differently. Let me narrow it down to Edo State. What is happening in Edo State today is very, very shameful. Very, very shameful in the sense that you see a sitting governor, 2027 is not even close, and is already campaigning for the presidency. That sounds a very dangerous alarm to every Nigerians and the Edo people. And even while his matter is still in court, whether he's going to remain in the office or whether he's going to be removed, he's already campaigning for the presidency in every avenue, every opportunity he has. And these are the things that we all need to put a stop to. Coalition or no coalition. The people that are involved must tell Nigerians the reason why they are doing this. Is it for their personal interest? Is it for power grabbing? Or they want the interest of Nigerians? That is a very good thing to spell out. I know you're going to ask, I know you're going to ask if Peter Obi, if I'm on the side of Peter. Well, I know. Let me just come in there. I know you're going to ask me if I'm on the side of Peter Obi or the side of Atiku. As of the moment, I have leaders in Edo State. Dr. Asio of the PDP, former governor of Edo State, His Excellency Godwin Obaseki. These are my leaders. As long as they remain in PDP, they have not made any statement. I, Benjamin Mohammed, I still remain where I am. But if the coalition is for the betterment and for the good of Nigerians, to stop what is currently killing our democracy today, count me in.
All right. I'll come back to you, Benjamin. Now, let me move straight down to Andrew Mosefe because I know he's going to react to what Benjamin said. So, Andrew, Dr. Andrew, over now to you. You heard what Benjamin said. He said he's not happy, to use the word shameful, that our governor is campaigning for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu come 2027 to focus on governance. Well, the floor is yours, Andrew.
Okay, you see, when you leave the issues and you start attacking personality, that lies my problem. You know, if you remember, there was a time we had issues when we came on board like this, and you know, it ended up in personal attacks. But I urge us to focus on issues rather than attacking personalities. You cannot say the actions of the governor is shameful. I mean, come on. The man is a member of his political party. He operates under a political platform.
Oh, it's like we are having issues. Andrew, you can rejoin us, please. It's like you are having this, but he said you cannot say the action of the governor is shameful. After all, it belongs to a political party. When we're able to reestablish contact, definitely we'll get to hear from Andrew's own perspective. It stands right now. Some are saying the ADC has come to stay, despite the fact that we are having reservations from the mother political parties. Unlike what transpired in 2014 or thereabout, there was a complete agreement for them to form coalition. But in this case, these parties that want to go ahead to form coalition, not all of them are in agreement. Now, what do you feel about this particular trend?
Thank you, Wilson. You talk about the last coalition that was, even the present president was part. They did it knowing who would be a presidential candidate, knowing that the bad Nigeria setting is the turn of the Northerners. He himself did not even show up to say, I want to be a president. He knows it's not the turn of the Southern people. It is for the North. And that is why they all left it for Buhari. And it was easy for Buhari to win. And that is one of the problems that is still in PDP today. PDP leaders knowing that it is the turn of the South. They went as far as taking somebody from the North, the person of Atiku. And that was the day the PDP crumbled.
So that was a mistake they made?
That was the mistake. If they have brought somebody from the South, I think probably they will be able to try or even win the election. The coalition they are in again now, the next 4 years is still for the years after this one. The next 4 years is still for the South. Excepting if they just have a sole candidate from the South, and that is where I see the coalition working. And if they still say they are bringing a Northern presidential candidate, it's just dead on arrival. And that is one of the board of contention now within the ADC as it is. It is not all of that area, and that is why you see that some of the governors, some are saying they want to come to APC. Since the formation of ADC, some are going back, not to coming out now, but not knowing the situation. The decision is just taken today that a certain man, Obi has come out to say he's going to just have one tenure. Why did he say so? Because you know that the certain part of the country have only 4 years. Because after that 4 years is the turn of the North. So therefore, that is why the man say, I will run for just 4 years. Give me that 4 years to run. Because if you now say go back to the Northern, they now have a Northern candidate, the ADC is gone. So it's very different from the former coalition that resort to APC. Because those ones we are focused, like we said just now, some of them don't even know where they are going to. The present ADC. The APC are as at then know where they were going to. They know that even before the formation of APC, they are presidential candidates. So it wasn't not just a thing of the Tinubu did not come out to say he want to contest. The only thing is that okay, you are not contesting, bring somebody that will be vice president.
Oh.
And it was very easy. So this one that is just start fighting, and the northern man is still there. I don't know what is for whether he forgot his pencil or whatever in the presidency that he's looking for. If you allow the certain person to come, there is going to be a very strong opposition to the ruling party.
All right, now I can hear clearly that Dr. Andrew is back and we have made contact yet again with him. Dr. Andrew, over now to you.
Yeah, so I was saying that we should just focus on the issues. Governor Monday Okpebholo has decided that he's going to support President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, and so be it. I don't think anybody has the rights. I don't think anybody has the right to support a candidate, So we should just allow him to exercise his right to, to his choice. However, I want to say that the coalition is a gathering of people who lost out in the power play, in the power game, in their different political parties. Those who lost out in the APC, those who lost out in PDP, and then, of course, you know that even in the Labour Party, Peter Obi has since lost the structure. So if you look at all of them put together and you check their background, check their antecedents, you will find out that these are people who lost out in the power games in their different political parties. Now, Amechi and Co, we are part of the Aso Rock cabals, that ruled this country for 8 years, and we all know how bad things were. Even if it's my party, I at some point we also had to start criticizing the then President Bola Ahmed, the then President Buhari, for his policies, and to even think that a super minister in that government, a super minister of transportation, who literally depended on Chinese loans, borrowing and borrowing and borrowing to fix railway, the same railway that that is neither here nor there. You will be shocked, to see what our railways look like. The other day, I boarded a train from Itakbe to from Agbo to Itakbe, and it was the experience was harrowing because the train broke down, inside the bush, and we were afraid for our lives. And we know how much, was expended on rail transportation in Nigeria, that today we still cannot talk of an efficient railway system. So when people like that come out to speak, you now wonder what is going on here. And then he will lie to you that he doesn't like money, he doesn't know how to even steal money. Well, this is laughable. We are waiting for them. We are waiting for them. We are waiting for him to come and tell us, what they did with Nigeria, for the past 8 years. Or is it the El Rufai, who was governor of Kaduna State for 8 years, and under his watch, Southern Kaduna was turned into a theater of war, into a theater of battle, where where our people were still slaughtered and maimed in Kaduna, Southern Kaduna. I mean, I know you know now, you are a press man and you have all of these details. See, today, the people of Southern Kaduna are still not healed. And when people like that come out and champion the cause, you begin to wonder what is going on. Or is it David Mark? If you have read Professor late Professor Mori's article on the activities leading up to June 12th and how June 12th was annulled, and then the man who threatened to shoot the man who won the election, that's Abiola. It was David Mark who made that comment, according to Professor Mori in his article, in his book. So when a people who claim to be Democrats, who had the opportunity to actually allow democracy to reign. You know, it was David Mark who said he will kill he will kill Abiola if Abiola is given power. Go and read Omomori's book. It's all
Allegations.
over the
These
internet.
are just
So when
allegations because these
people like
persons
this
you
come
hold on,
out
hold
and
on,
they
Dr.
start
Andrew, hold on, hold on. These are just
no.
allegations
If you have
on the
read
character
Omomori's
of these
account, let me just land
persons.
on this thought, please. Let me land on this thought.
Please.
I'm coming, sir. I'm coming. Let me land on this thought. Professor Omomori was a special policy consultant to Ibrahim Babangida. Everybody knows that. And so if somebody like that comes out to write a book and say, this is the account, this is what happened right in my present, I mean, why will you doubt it? So when the man wrote his book, he wasn't arrested, he wasn't killed. He wrote that book many years before he died. So I don't have any reason to doubt the authenticity of the claims of Professor Omar Moridi regarding David Mark and the activities of leading up to the June 12th.
Thank you. I will come back to you, Dr. Andrew. I will definitely come back to you. Well, you've heard his own account. The reason why he's saying that coalition may not work, talking about the antecedents of this person's allegedly from a testament of a particular man or particular source. So don't put that under allegations until we'll go out and maybe, okay, fine. We'll just go out and make one or two research to find out if those words he said are true or false. But he said one thing striking. He said the governor of Edo State have the right to campaign for whoever want to campaign for after he's a member of the APC. Now, when all these things started, it's like a part of PDP is saying we cannot move our structure to join ADC, and some are still standing put. The same thing also with Labour Party. They told Peter Obi to give them, what was it? It was given 48 hours to tender his resignation from Labour Party. You understand? And all, even SDP, some of them say we cannot join coalition. And the former presidential candidate in the ADC is also saying this will not work. We have cases in court. Now, with all these things happening, do you feel that ADC will stand a chance? And what about those political parties? Are they now moribund?
Thank you. You see why people will always say President Tinubu is a phenomenon. He's not just an ordinary man. He's a master strategist when it comes to this political game. So if you are to award somebody an honorary PhD degree in politics or political strategy, I think Tinubu should have been awarded even Professor Emeritus in this very particular game.
In politics.
You see, APC came on board when about 4 parties came together. And these 4 parties collapsed their entire structure and killed the various other parties and came up with a brand new name, apart from ABGA, who also brought out their head, and only half of ABGA now went and some part of ABGA now stayed. Though that is why you see there was not too much litigations. And that was why you see that the APC went west smoothly and were able to wrestle power from the incumbent. You know why the presidencies always keep on laughing and saying this group will know? Because you've just started mentioning some of them. If at all, even me, as small knowledge I have in politics, I will have to spend my money to sponsor the SDP, sponsor the ADCs, but to increase litigations. At the end of the day, your political candidate will not even fly. Because at the end of the day, these parties will come up with serious litigation. Okay, a structure was already existing in ADC. Somebody said, I just stepped down. You should just come in. In which Congress did you elected this new interim chairman, in this new interim secretary and the rest? So definitely there's going to be more litigations on the way. That's to my only true knowledge. Now, as if that is not enough, you are now seeing that this same group of people that are coming up together, some part are going, some part are staying. That is where the problem will continue to come in from. And why this president will just sit down and going to look at the holes and start choking in where they need to choke in into all this. So, and before you know it, that same party will become desirable. But again, in the other side, they also have some little smart guys too, like Erufai, who said they are going to have another party as a plan A, as a plan B, just in case he said, because they know this ADC may not fly. So the plan B party, they should better start working on that plan B party, because he said this is not popular. Like I said earlier, it is the aggrieved group of human beings that are actually sponsoring this AD with all their heart. They are aggrieved part of the Labour. They are aggrieved part of the PDP. While the PDP who is enjoying from the government are saying they are staying. Why the PDP people that are saying they are not benefiting from the government are the ones that want to go. Like that, you cut it across. Okay, now look at Aregbesola, for example. You have a fallout with the current government. It is your bestie. And now you are joining this one. Is it David Mark that the former coalition ousted out of power? Because he was the Senate president for almost 12 good years. Though when the coalition came, his own is like more or less like a revenge. All of them is more or less like a personal issue. Not even for the interest of the current state. We agree that yes, the Tinubu government, we are all feeling it. Even me as a member of the All Progressive Congress, I'm feeling it. I know how much I buy fuel. The economy is not funny. Security is not there. Presidency is not doing quite all right what we really wanted. But that is not to say we will just jump into something that is not properly rearranged. Because at the end of it, it's going to be a problem. That's why you see some smart governors now either going to the ADC or rather preferring to come to the APC. Because they are seeing that the APC, they can project very well where they are going. But the ADC is not, but down is just come, gree, let's take power. This initial in fact, the way it will crash, most of them will now even be more ashamed of this. That's why most of them are not resigning from their party. Most of them are not saying they want to do Wike style. Wike is not like a role model now. We'll remain here and be working there. We'll remain here and because they know if really you know that this ADC will fly, why don't you tender a resignation letter? When you tender, at the end of the day, they give you ticket in ADC. The litigation that will come will sack you. You just surprised that Tinubu will just roll into presidency for the second tenure in a roller coaster style with so ease, without even having a candidate. Go and bet it. Wow. Without opposition, because that is where they are going, and that is why you see Tinubu. You see the Tinubu is even more relaxed. If they are really serious, they would have worked with Ada as a fresh party. That Ada would have fly without no its issues. Not this one that they are doing. ADC is already an existing party before now. If the presidential candidate before not get chichis, they go pump on with chichi this time around, and he go take this case go far. Okay. And all his job is just to cutting you. I think that you see that everything will end up in a fiasco that at the end of the day all effort will be in futility. So not that I am supporting Tinubu that your administration is and you are feeling the good thing. Tinubu, I'm not feeling your good administration. Let me say it open the air. We are feeling the pains. We are not enjoying your government, Tinubu. Let me say it openly. But that is not to say I will go and join ADC.
I'll come back to you. This is getting more and more interesting because no party right now that is in the ADC want to collapse that structure. That structure is still very much on the ground. What does this foretell?
My brother, you have to do the camps because the truth is, all of these political parties you are talking about, they are gasping for breath. They are trying to resuscitate themselves politically. That's why you see they are trying to align themselves. The truth is, you have said you are feeling, everybody is feeling the Tinubu hit. Everybody is feeling the Tinubu hit. The question now is how do we effect this change? Who is a better devil? Who should be the person that should come and learn? Who should be the person that we should say, okay, we should choose? The only problem I have as a result of this coalition is because of the fact that there's too much interest. There's too much interest in this coalition. That is just the only challenge personally I have. Now, for the governors that you are talking about, mind you, gone are the days where you see governors, too much power was concentrated in the governorship system, but it is not like that anymore. Which governor can make up a decision for himself without effect of the presidency? Governor cannot do that. So everybody is beginning to take dressing, beginning to take line and make alignment with the fact that they have weighed their chances. Say, okay, everybody is following this. Almost 23 state governors are already in the APC. For what? Is it for the common interest of their people? No, it's not for their personal interest. So it is very visible to the blind and very audible to the deaf. So the question we should be asking ourselves is who should this person be? Now let us also look at the calculation. You understand? Personally, to me, Atiku is not compulsory that, I think he should play the role of an elder statesman.
That's exactly.
It's not compulsory that everybody cannot be president of Nigeria. Everybody cannot be president. If you look at Atiku's track record, he has done very, very well for himself. When I read that Atiku was supposed to be sworn in as governor of Adamawa State, before Obasanjo picked him to be his running mate as vice president, and he did that for good 8 years. So now he's even part of the major problem because you know why he's sitting down there and see that he doesn't want to give chance for others. Now, don't also undermine the person as saying the person of Amechi. My brother, like I said earlier, if the coalition as it is, you know, align with the people, the yearnings of the people, the hunger of the people, it will work. It will work. There's no president, incumbent president too big to be removed or unseated. That is the question. The truth is that we have placed the person of Bola Ahmed Tinubu as a demigod, a jagaban as he's being called. So at the end of the day, people are trying to, yes, I understand his political prowess and all of those things, and he has sat in the position where he can do his mastercraft and do his political calculation. But again, how does it come down to affect me and you as a common person? That is what should be taken. Mr. Andrews begin to question the character of David Mark, question the character. Which politician does not have a questionable character? Which question? Everybody has a questionable character, but who is the better devil?
So you're saying they are all devils? Is that what you're saying right now?
Better devil.
I'll come back to you. It is getting more and more interesting. Now, moving down to Edo State, some persons were asked this question: what do they feel about the coalition? A member of the PDP said yes, they are in support of it, but PDP stands strong. If you watch and you see the person I'm talking about, a very high-ranked PDP person, they say they are in support of it, but PDP stands strong. That means we have PDP structure. Nobody is dismantling the structure to join ADC. The same thing also in Labour Party. Nobody is dismantling that structure, collapsing that structure to join ADC. If you go around these parties, they are still in existence, they are saying they are supporting ADC. What in the world is going on? Benjamin, you said you're waiting for your leaders, so to speak, to make up their mind. You understand it? And a high-ranking member of the PDP in Edo State, say yes, they're in support of it, but PDP remains strong. What can you make out of this?
The person that make that very statement, I would say I'm also on his side. I am adding my opinion to that. Edo State as of today and the PDP in Edo State is a very strong political party. We are still very... Please, can you mute your mic, sir? You are distracted. The PDP of Edo State today is still very much stronger than every other party in the state, despite the power being willed to APC in Edo State. When you say collapse structure, it is good that the PDP and the Labour Party are coming forward to clear that they are not ready to collapse their structure. And I also want you to understand there is some other speakers in the studio that made mention of not being the coalition not being properly planned, like adopting the ADC as a vehicle to run in 2027. I also want you to understand that when you say somebody is a political strategist, it might not be only one making that strategy. There are other people who are not in the picture who are playing what is called behind the scene. And if these people feel that they are aggrieved members moving into the APC or the ADC, can somebody hear me? Can somebody hear me, please?
We can hear you, Benjamin. Go ahead. We can hear you.
That's okay. Like when you said the aggrieved member in the APC and Labour Party or PDP, they are the one forming the coalition. You guys might be right, but I also want you to understand that these guys who are moving out of that place, we know what they can do and what they have done in the past. So you shouldn't underrate them. Somebody like Egofai, he's not just a politician. I'm not saying he's my type of politics that I like. No, I don't want to use the word bigotry and all that, but it's kind of a little bit incite religions during the past and all that. But let's keep that aside. And when you look at the David Mark that the doctor, my colleague from the Zoom side mentioned, it pains me so much that you hold a particular position, especially a learned person of that nature. You cannot use the word allegedly, because in making such an allegation or saying you believe what somebody wrote in the book, that means if you use your passion for APC to write a book for APC today and you want your student to believe it, that is very, very wrong. You can use the word allegedly because all those things were not verified by security agency, were not proven in the court of law. So somebody might come tomorrow and sue you for character assassination or defamation and all that. But let's keep that aside. Like the other last guy in the studio said, I love that guy's speech so much. He said it does not just depend on presidency and all that, like what is happening today. Every governor and senators and House of Reps and even local government chairmen, they are afraid to be independent in their opinion because they are waiting for they are waiting for the presidency to give a particular flag down, on what to do and what to say. People are moving into APC out of fear. People are moving into APC because they have interest on 2027 of returning back to office or returning back to the Senate and the House of Reps and the rest of that. That is the reason why people are moving back to the APC. It's not that they actually love people. The people who are moving into APC, why they are still in office. Do you want to question their character? Like the other guy said, he said, no politician in Nigeria doesn't have a questionable character. But the whole thing boils down to the fact that if the coalition will be able to come up with an idea, an ideology that resonates with the yearnings of the Nigerian youth, of the Nigerian people, just like you and I, who is feeling it now, who cannot be able to, who is not being able to prove to say, okay, I have my 3 square meal shop for today. They comes together and say, this is what we want. Nobody can steal the election. Nobody will say the incumbent president cannot be, the incumbent government cannot be removed. Anybody can lose an election if your policy does not resonate. Like when you look at the Western world, like America, like every other, like Germany and all that, if you make one funny mistakes in your policy, in the next election, your chances of winning is getting slimmer and slimmer and slimmer. But I want us to know this. There are so many political parties that is going under the process of registration. This same coalition, you have the other guy the other APC guy who also spoke in a very alarming form, said that they should look for Plan B. There are so many political parties who have been who are in the process of being registered at the moment. And that is there, which was which the country we're actually looking at the coalition is going to adopt or the coalition is voting for. Things like this, when you look at the past few days, when the coalition come into play, if you are a good political analyst and be able to do your calculation, you find that APC as a political party and the government themselves, they are shaking. They are really, really shaking in the sense that when you look at it, they have started to adjust their policy. In less than 2 days, the coalition was made today, and in less than 2 days, NAPC have been able to reduce the cost of fuel in the country. The president's wife was able to go to Benue State and Plateau State and donate 1 billion naira. So you will see in the coming days, policies will begin to adjust themselves. They will begin to do so many things. You might be even surprised now in less than 2 or 3 days, they will ask all the students in Abuja to resume back to school. Those who are in strike, those who are on strike, teachers will be paid. So the essence of coalition is to make the government of the day to sit up, not just by waiting for 2027. A 1 month or 2 months to the election, the coalition might decide to come out and say, okay, we are not using ADC. We are using another political party. All these things can be done. So these are the things you need to put into place. You might not say Tinubu is comfortable. Tinubu is not comfortable. Tinubu is not comfortable. Tinubu is a president. You don't expect him to be coming to social media or coming to media station and be shouting coalition or coalition. No. But you saw Wike yesterday. You can see in a Wike's voice. You can see that fear. You can see what he's already sensing. You can see what he saw, the storm that is coming. Because the people who are gathering in that coalition, they are not pushovers. They have their political structure, and which Wike understand of a politician having a political structure in every state and in every local government. So these guys coming together, don't forget the APC national chairman resigned. Nobody know why he resigned. Nobody know where he's going to. Or do you think that the northern allied politicians, they are happy about what is going on? Just like what my brother in the studio said, who is also an APC member, who is also not happy the way the economy is being on the world, the effect that is being breathed down to the average Nigerian that cannot wake up in the middle of the day and say, okay, I want to feed myself. I have water, I have electricity. And these are the reasons people actually voted for Tinubu.
All right.
According to him.
Thank you.
So
I will come back to you, Benjamin. I will definitely come back to you. Well, If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the aftermath of coalition, the impact on our political parties. Yes, before APC was formed, the constituents of APC, they all, I don't want to use the word collapse, they killed their structure. Take note, I want to use the word kill. They killed their structure. There's no trace of any company. They just came together and adopted one name. But in this particular situation, they still have their structures. People are like asking, how is it going to work? We dive more into this matter after this break. Don't go away.
Situated in the majestic city of Benin, the home of culture and tradition, are two of the few wonders of the world in hospitality. Oti Hotel Boutique and Spa, number 1 Lucky Lane off Etete GRA Benin City, and Oti Luxury Hotel Sapele Road. Oti Hotel and Spa and Oti Luxury Hotel, bridging the hospitality gap.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI, reaching you live from Benin City, Edo State, South Nigeria, broadcasting to the world. Well, we're moving straight down to where Professor Andrew Ace, Dr. Andrew Ace, working to be a prof eventually. It could just happen, and it will happen. All right, now you heard the opinion of Benjamin, of course, the opinion of those in the studio. Some are saying that outside the ADC, that people in the APC are not really happy with the APC, that they might just pitch tent with the ADC. From your own perspective, what is the possibility of this happening?
Have you ever seen a situation where people want to jump from fry pan to fire? That is that will amount to you jumping from fry pan to fire if you decide to quit APC and go to ADC. Because the ADC has presently constituted. I don't care about the views of Benjamin. I mean, because if if you say you belong to a political party, you should protect your party with everything opinion. So, as far as I'm concerned, you cannot tell me, okay, that I should use the word allegations. And if you know Professor Omori very well, I'm not sure you make the comments that you have just made. Professor Omori was not just a professor of political science or professor of public policy. He was a special consultant all for the better part of his years. And Professor Omori is somebody that knows almost all of these governments inside out. And so he is an authority. Just as I will quote Plato or I'll quote Aristotle, when teaching. That's how I will also quote Professor Omori because his works are spread across journals in the world. So if I were you, I would just pick up my phone and check out the profile of the man, Professor Omori. And if Omori wrote in his book that David Mark said he was going to shoot Abiola if he's given if he's allowed if he's allowed to attain the position of presidency, so be it. After all, till today, David Mark never came out to refute those allegations. Even after so many years after Professor Omomori wrote that book, he never came out to refute the allegations. So I don't understand why, you are crying more than the bereaved. However, I want to state here that the ADC is, even as we speak, a party in shambles already. If you watch Dumebi Kachiku, who was the presidential candidate of the ADC, some days ago on channels, you will hear, the things that he said, and that how these guys came in through the back door to hijack the party structure. Of course, it is typical of them. They always like to, enter through the back door. And so they did so this time around, edging out the presidential candidate who came fifth, by the way, in the last presidential elections. So Dumebi Kachiku is already saying that he's going to go to court. And besides, the man who handed over the structure, his tenure expired since 2022 as national chairman of the ADC. So those conversations are already on. And I know that once Dumebi Kachiku approaches the court, all of these guys who have come in through the back door will be shown the exit door. And as for me questioning the integrity of these guys, I know exactly what I'm saying. And I know that Nigerians are not stupid, you know. I know that Nigerians are not stupid. Nigerians are people who will always interrogate the character of people. Nigerians would rather continue with a Tinubu than to trust any of these elements, any of these characters in the ADC today. The only person we could say let us manage to even single out is Peter Obi. But we have also, within the past 2 years, seen how Peter Obi has managed the crisis in his party, the Labour Party, and how it has snowballed into something that is almost unending. The crisis is almost unending. And because he has not been able to sort out the crisis, he has also now decided to jump ship. You cannot trust somebody like that with an entire nation. I mean, look at Tinubu, for instance. Tinubu is a manager of crisis, a manager of men and resources. And no matter the situation, you will not see Tinubu jump ship just like that. Tinubu will look for a way to sort out all the issues. You are talking about the national chairman who resigned. Do you know why he resigned? You will ask people, like, if you say Ganduje resigned, do you know why Ganduje resigned? Ganduje did not resign because he wants to join ADC. Ganduje did not resign because he wants to leave APC. All right? Ganduje resigned for political purposes, for political exigencies, and you will see it play out very soon. You see, when they say Tinubu is a master strategist, Ahmed did not lie. He knows exactly what he's saying. You should consult some of us, Benjamin. You should consult some of us. We will consult. Don't worry. I
All
will
right.
charge you. I'll consult you for
All
free.
right.
You know.
I will
So,
come back to you. I will
so
come back to you, Dr. Andrew.
I'll come back to you. Well, it's not a personal beef between you and Benjamin. Both of you are making your points, but it's like when it's saying 12, they're saying half a dozen. It's the same 12. It's the same 12. Okay, it's not between you and Benjamin. We are trying to make sense out of all this situation. In presence of Nigerians, I like watching. Some are laughing, some are saying, "Look, this is serious." But let me come to Honorable. You've been there as a local government boss. You know the nitty-gritty of politics and politicking, so to speak. But with the emergence of this ADC, some are saying this is the beginning of the end of these political parties that choose to join the ADC, whether partially or completely. As we commence our descent on this discussion, what do you feel about that notion?
You see, my brother, Wisi, almost all our colleagues, have talked about the coalition. This is very different from that brought APC into play. Like the rightly said, all the structures of CPC, of Buhari and all of that, they collapsed it. And that is what gave our former governor here, Odige Oyego,
Yes.
to become the first national chairman of APC. Otherwise, it would have been because if the structure were not collapsed. But this PDP is saying they are still strong. Labour said they are still strong. This one said, who are the people that will now hold the ADC? Some are even saying, like my colleague said just now, that they can be PDP and be helping ADC.
That's a wicked style.
A wicked style. All those ones will not work. Why? Because those who are ganging up or who are not in the front of the coalition, they themselves are not, they are just on their own selfish and not for the benefit of the masses. You see, the other guy talk about the governor talking about 2027 campaigning for Tinubu. Yes, Okpebholo is doing that, and the party is doing that. As a sitting governor, he must not just look only into the governor. He must equally look at into the vehicle. That is the party that brought it into that seat. He before he's coming, almost all, the whole South Side was PDP government. He came in before the Delta State man now declared. Akwa Ibom and the rest started declaring. It's just like when you are in a football field. If you see that the strikers, when they see that the backman, either from the left or the right, are weak, they want to use that opportunity immediately so that they can score. So what the APC is doing in the South Side is to make sure they now got opportunity. Let's utilize it and make sure that every person in the South Side are now APC. So I think that is a good one to the APC so that it's opportunity to mobilize and get the people. Since the heads are all confused, they are all scattered, and they are even willing, they are all coming to APC. So let's just pack everybody to APC. So the truth is that the coalition, those who are in the front, are confused themselves. And you heard when he said, just as Rufai said, there is option B. What type of option B you are going to do? They haven't telling the Nigerians that it's ADC. Before election now, or a month or two, you now say it's no longer ADC, is this. It's not easy. Then the voters will look at you as a very stupid leader. And it will not be difficult. So they have to, at the present stage now, put their house in order. Because like one of our colleagues said just now, litigation from ADC will start in a very soon, few weeks or months. Like the former presidential candidate said, yes. Even the party themselves, because the party from the state level are saying that only the national people just they do it. The national chairman say he resign, the other one say he resign for people to come in. That is not how to do it. If you don't have, you are collapsing all the structure, collapse all the structures, so that people can come in. Because those one just announce they resign, this one resign, the other one fits in like, just like that. Is that a convention or whatever? What do you call that?
Thank you so much.
There is a problem, and ADC just died on arrival.
Thank you so much, Honorable Napoleon Agbama. Well, Amediwaike, your last line on this discussion. Mind you, this party said that they're supporting the ADC. Their structures are still intact. Some are saying their structures are tattered. And they know we are still very strong. We are in support of ADC, but we are very strong. How is it going to work out?
It's not going to work now. Like if you follow up the antecedents of that APC, whereby CPC, AMP, I think that the one that from the West, yes. Then the AMPP that brought in Oyegu, the ABGA, they all came together. So at the northern sphere, the CPC were gladiators. Then at the western side, and the ACN, rightly correct, were the gladiators. Then ABGA, they got from the west, from the east, and some AMPP like that. The structure came in, and it was well structured, meaning a very meaningful plan. Unlike this one, the hasty, they would have just been patient with the ADA. Even if INEC is giving them issues, they would have just been patient, follow it up with litigation to push INEC to ensure that ADA flies. If they had just come up with this ADA now, fine. Okay, look at the ADC that, as my father here rightly said, okay, if the state chairman in Edo State is saying, I am not part and parcel of what you are doing.
What then happens?
So, thank you. What happens? Then you now tell me, oh, somebody will now say, I want to fly the ticket of ADC with House of Rep. Yeah. And the state chairman here saying no give you ticket or whatever. You see, at the end of the day, you actually have a good plan, but you don't know how to execute it. It's exactly what is going to affect this whole group of people.
Right, thank you.
So that is us, whereby the APC is still very relaxed because it's not well properly planned.
Thank you so much, Ahmed. Well, Joshua, your last line.
I think for me, I would still say it's still kind of early. Let us see as events still begin to.
It's like you're very hopeful about this, and I like that.
It is not like I'm actually very, very hopeful. But we are actually clamoring for a better Nigeria. You understand? And without any form of opposition, I do not think with what is on ground, we are going to have that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, so let us be hopeful. Let's see as events unfold.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Joshua. Benjamin, your last line of this discussion before we take a break to come into another discussion. Benjamin, your advice.
Before, I will urge every Nigerian youth to be involved in politics. Instead of we sitting down here being analyzing and fighting for those we know that does not hold our opinion at heart. If we involve in politics, and we should be able to dictate it. For example, like the ADC and the APC issue. If APC are not afraid, I think you guys should leave ADC, let ADC be. So ADC know what to do, and people who are there, they have been in politics and they are also strategists. They know what they are doing. So let's see how it unfolds. All I will just ask everybody to say, let's continue to be, even whether you are a member of the APC, continue to tell the truth and tell the APC that it's not favoring you, the policies they are making. And for governors who are campaigning for the presidency when it's not even year campaign time, there are supposed to be a repercussion or a punishment for that in the INEC guidelines. So all those things we need to put into play. We should not just be breaking laws and be comfortable with it. A governor who is sitting down campaigning for 2027 and the poster of the president is all over the country, in Abuja, in every other state, it is not good. We should be able to condemn what is not good. That is where I stand. I wouldn't say because I'm from PDP and PDP is doing the wrong thing, I should be. You know me, I will always say the truth because I'm not in politics because of what I want to gain. I'm in politics of the way I want to help my people and how I can also pass the dividend of democracy to them. Thank you and God bless you all.
Now let's get to hear from Dr. Andrew, your last line on this discussion briefly. What advice do you have?
This is an intercourse of strange bedfellows. A romance of incompatible couples, and as far as I'm concerned, the marriage ended even before it started. So I would just advise them to go back to their various political parties and settle the differences that that exist therein. If they are leaders in their parties, they should be able to resolve their issues, because what they are doing now is telling Nigerians that they are actually, what we all thought that they are. Of course, we all knew them as people who cannot be trusted for any reason. Look, the leaders of the ADC are people who have distinguished themselves in very negative perspectives. And I know that the APC as a party is going to win the elections. More defectors are coming in, more governors are coming. The entire South is going to be empty very soon. Same with the North. Ganduje's resignation, has paved the way for, bigger fishes to come in from the North. And even in the East is going to be very empty. It's going to be empty very, very soon. So it's more like a political tsunami that is going to happen very, very, very soon. And
thank you so much.
I want all of us to sit back and watch how things unfold.
Thank you.
2027.
Thank you so much, Dr. Andrew. Well, you've heard all of them. They've spoken at length on this particular issue. The guests that have been here in the studio and the ones that are not in the studio, join us virtually, though they've told you what they feel about it. But remember, what made APC thick then? Very, very thick and formidable. All the component parties, they collapsed their structure. Or I say they killed their structure to be part of APC. As in no other option, that means you put all in the bag and fight to the end. But what do we have right now? Some of Nigerians are saying, since you are here and there, that means you are neither here nor there. It might not be formidable. Would it be bad if PDP is okay, for instance, we're coming for this, collapse the structure of PDP or kill the structure of PDP, infuse more life into the ADC? What about Labour? Fine, collapse the structure of Labour, kill the structure of Labour, put it in ADC, like what APC did to come alive. But they are not doing it. If they are not doing that, means there may be one or two elements of doubt somewhere. And for you to have a plan, therefore, after upon the political party, I don't know, in Nigerian politics, I don't know. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for your wonderful opinion. I really appreciate all of you. Let's see how this will pan out. El-Rufai said, look, he doesn't have political ambition, but he wants to remove the evil he brought into Nigeria by supporting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. People said, look, no, these reforms are necessary reforms. This pain for a long-term gain. Let's see how this will pan out.